Radio. Homegrown Radio. Real 92.3.
All right, we back at it, Homegrown Radio. Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head.
West Coast.
From the 909, man. Pomona's in the house right now, man. We begin to actually, when we do inbox music, to be honest, there's been a lot of people asking for Young Drummer Boy, and he's in the building with
Young
us
Drummer
right now,
Boy is in the building.
Drummer Boy, man.
Yeah,
How
man.
you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm blessed to be here. I really appreciate it, man.
Of course, man.
I've been watching you guys for a long time and shit, you know what I'm saying?
That's
so,
crazy.
You know, my opportunity to be here, man, it's really, you know what I mean? It's a big blessing for me, you know what I mean?
Well, we appreciate you being here, too.
Yeah, really.
You dropped that project, Same Click. It's out right now.
Yeah, Same Click, man. Out everywhere, man. It's doing great. You know what I mean? I can't complain at all.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I had a lot of help, a lot of good people on that album that gave me, you know what I'm saying, a lot of help to make that shit what it is.
So talk about the actual construction of that project. I mean, something like this that is an amazing opportunity for you. People are obviously seeing what's going on. Like, talk about the process of actually creating it and the expectations that you had. And now that it's out, did you meet your expectations? And are the fans giving you that love back that you expected from the jump?
To be honest with you, I really can't tell you if I hit them expectations on myself because I'm so critical on myself and everything I do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I be having anxiety over this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I drop music and we just dropping music and I'm like, man, is this gonna be the one? Is this gonna hit? And you know what I mean? Sometimes I just kind of run through songs and I just kind of have to be like, all right, like, this is it. I'm not going to keep going back and forth and trying to pick them out. So it's a real hard thing for me to sit here and be like, okay, yeah, like, that's the dopest album I ever made. You know what I'm saying? It's real hard for me to do that. But, you know, now with the feedback that we're getting and, you know, a lot of different people reaching out and fucking with us, it really makes it a little bit more validation for me that, you know what I'm saying, I did the right thing for that album. Now,
was there any, when you're creating this project, what do you feel like is different for you? Like, walking into it, did you say, I want to make sure this is different this go around? Or, like, you know, people want to progress as they make music. And obviously, since you're so hard on yourself or you're very critical, like, what was one of the main things that you wanted to make sure that this Same Click was different than any other project that you had?
Well, I think the best way I could say is that I had a little bit more pressure on me because I just signed to Empire. Shout out to Empire. You know, appreciate it. Shout out to Gentry and Furious, man. They really been, you know what I mean, working with me and Sasha. You know what I mean? So I had a little bit more pressure on this album. So I really felt that off the jump. So I was like, what am I gonna do? And you know, obviously you're like, okay, maybe we need to go a little bit more mainstream with it, or you know what I mean, try to hit different things that we didn't before, you know, because if you pay attention to my last music, you know, my last albums, they're real just street, you know what I'm saying? Which this one's a street as well, but what I try to do with this one is I just try to choose a lot of different beat selections instead of just one straight, you know what I'm saying, West Coast all the way through, or, you know what I mean, like for my last album, High Forever 2, that one was kind of like sample based, you know what I'm saying, but for this one, I kind of mixed it up, you know?
Got you.
And I even went with a couple different producers for it, which I usually don't do because I just have my in-house producers, which is Ace Beats and produced by 100. But I reached out to Cypress Moreno.
Right. Shout out to Cypress.
Yeah, shout out to Cypress. Big shout out to Cypress. That video we're doing is doing real good numbers right now.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And then Stills killing them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, he came through with one of them records that really meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's called Wastelands.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? But for that, yeah, man, we just, like, I just try to do different stuff without kind of changing my, like, you know, people kind of, like, online, you'll see the, you know, comments where people are like, well, he really don't change his style, or he don't change the way he approach shit, you know what I'm saying, or what he talks about. But that's kind of just like me. That's just like what I know how to talk about.
You want me to be somebody else?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You saying as far as like they're not happy with your subject matter, like what you're talking about?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because and you know what I mean, I admit it, I tend to stay on the same type of subjects, you know what I'm saying? Which is, you know what I'm saying, my little homie's getting incarcerated, my little cousin getting incarcerated, the way I grew up, you know what I mean, how I was in Pomona type shit. I'm not really big on the whole, like, you know, the ass music and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just not comfortable making that type of music, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I get those comments a lot, you know what I'm saying, here and there, you know what I mean, from new viewers and stuff like that, or even people that, you know what I mean, kind of fuck with me and kind of don't, you know what I mean, but I just keep it real all the way on my shit, so it's kind of hard for me to divert from that, you know what I mean, but we switching up the beats on this one, and, you know, it's still the same type of shit that I'm talking about, but I'm trying to just slowly, you know what I mean, hit different sounds that I haven't hit before. You know
I think it's important though, like you said, to stay true to who you are. Like if that's not you, don't do it.
Exactly.
something I do want to talk about too. You touched on Wastelands.
Yeah.
In that song, you mentioned you were 10, I believe, when your brother when your brother he got locked up or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
What was that about? Do you remember like vividly like being there? Because I remember shit when I was like 6.
Yeah.
And it scarred me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have little memories of it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I remember being there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was something that happened like in our house.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Not to speak on it too much, but
Yeah.
you know, something that happened inside the house. And you know, he was one of the first he's my first brother to get jumped into my neighborhood.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of like the oldest generation in my neighborhood, in my family. Wow. You know, because I got brothers, we all from that. You know what I'm saying? I'm the youngest. And you know, he went to jail. I think he did 5 years in YA. You know what I'm saying? He was I think he was about 15 years old.
Wow.
And somewhere around there, 15 and 17, around there. And then here he had just had a baby. So he went away for 5 years, you know what I'm saying? And,
Before he went in?
Yeah, before he went in.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I seen that shit, you know what I mean? And I watched the shit, and, you know, my brother, the one thing I want to talk about that, his name's Smokey. Shout out to Smokey, man.
Shout out to Smokey.
Because once he got out, he got business oriented, man. He was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got one crazy ass brother right now, and that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? He's you know what I mean? He's older than me, but that motherfucker still.
Yeah,
he's wild, man. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He does his thing. I can't knock it, you know what I'm saying? And I love him as much as I love all my other brothers, you know what I'm saying? But my brother Smokey came out, and he was just, man, trying to start businesses, and he was trying to start this, and he had me gardening, like, he went to go buy, like, you know, gardening equipment, doing that. Man, we tried everything, bro.
Really?
We tried.
That's why I brought that up, because I wanted to talk about that, like to see how that impacted you as far as getting your music career. Did that, like, when did you start? I know you were drumming and stuff. You played the drums at a young age.
First of all, I appreciate that. The fact your name is Drummer Boy and you actually were a drummer.
Yeah.
People do that and they make a name up and it has nothing to do with their lifestyle or anything. So that's the salute to that.
Yeah, I can play the fuck out of the drums, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, real shit.
Like, get down for real.
What's happening?
He said, man, we're about to find some sticks or something, man.
No,
we'll get some bongos or something. But no, what I'm saying is bongos. Well, I mean, we can make those. We can't make fucking drums.
Maybe you can get some pins and put it on it anyway.
Yeah.
So no, but I was saying, like, that happening so young, you being 10 years old. Like, how did that change as far as how you conducted yourself? Did that impact you as far as, because I know you was obviously in the streets and whatnot. Did that change anything for you?
Not till way later.
Damn.
Yeah, not till way later. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something normal where we grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this is what we looked up to. You know what I mean? I got homies right here with me, you know what I mean? Shout out to my homie Victor, you know what I'm saying? AKA Snipes. I don't know if you want me to put him out there like that. But he, you know what I'm saying? He's an older generation. He seen me running around in diapers. So it's something like, you know what I'm saying? He did, you know what I mean, countless years and shit like that. Yeah. So it's something that we was used to, you know what I mean? Homies disappearing, homies gone to this day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, even one of my homies that's in my video with the one that I shot with Stupid Young, like the next day he got busted, man, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a lifestyle, but I didn't learn how to, like, you know, really focus on like money and like how much money was important for us to actually survive, you know what I'm saying? Because until my brother Smokey got out and he kind of installed that into me.
So he learned. Go ahead.
I was gonna say he was meticulous about making sure that you understood that.
Yeah, he was very meticulous about that. He was
did he share any of the stuff that did he pick that up obviously while he was locked up? Like, he picked up. Yeah. Was he learning stuff as far as, like, I know the internet, books, what did he?
Well, this was back in shit.
They got a lot of schooling there. They teach you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This was years ago, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know exactly where he picked it up from, but when he got out, man, that's all he was doing.
Y'all how to do it.
And he was just like, bro, like, woo. And then he would play like old music for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I always been like wanting to do music, but I was never serious about it at all. I would just dabble in shit. And then I remember me and him, we would like go to the store and we would buy the actual albums, like the Cypress Hill album just came out. And he'll bang that and he'll tell me like there's no cap at all. He'll be like, listen to it, man. Just listen to it. Listen to the way they make the beats. Cause I don't know if you guys are aware, I started making beats.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I was doing.
Yeah.
Was making beats. I didn't know how to rap for shit.
Wow.
Nothing. I had no confidence in my raps whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he would just be like, listen to this beat, and then he'll throw on DJ Quick, and then he'll throw on Warren G. You know what I'm saying?
Planting those seeds
he was
early.
just doing that.
Wow.
And at the same time I was doing that, I was in the work truck with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was right here and he was throwing me. He got me my first like legit job. You know what I mean? And then from there, my little cousin, me and my little cousin, you know what I mean? We were doing it kind of like in, you know what I mean, in the garage, in the room. We had the little microphone type shit, and then my cousin ended up getting jumped into my neighborhood, and like 2 months later, he caught 32 years of life, man.
He got 32 years.
Yeah, 32
Damn,
years,
bro.
man. Shout out to my cousin Brian, man. I named my son after him. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean. Once that happened, my brother was like, man, you got to start rapping, because I didn't have nobody to rap over my beats. You know what I'm saying? And then I kind of went wild for a minute. I was in the streets just being a knucklehead, man, fucking with drugs, doing stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Shit you do, because I just kind of lost interest in everything.
At what point did you actually listen, though? Because you said your brother was telling you all this stuff. When did it actually kind of seep in and say, okay, yeah, he's right. I got to pick it up and do a little bit more and make sure I take it a little more serious?
When my cousin went away.
Wow.
Damn. So that was something.
Yeah, that hurt me.
Got you.
Now, was he rapping or was he producing with you, or kind of like...
He was a rapper.
He was a rapper. So he was a rapper to the beats that you were making.
Yeah.
So now that he's gone,
I
now
had
it's like
nothing.
you don't have nobody. Damn.
Yeah, I had nothing, man.
So at that point, what do you do? Do you start networking? Like, how do you have that mentality?
My
to
brother
start
had
reaching
the
out?
whole plan. You want me to spell it out? I can spell it
Go
out.
ahead.
So he was just like, look, I'm going to get you on. I was running around the street. So he's like, look, bro, because I didn't want to live with moms, man.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to do shit. I wanted to just run around and just fuck up. You know what I mean? So he was like, you going to live with me, and I'm going to let you live with me. You could smoke. You could bring hoes over here. You could do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? But while you live with me, you're going to be making beats and you're going to be
You
focusing
got to focus on this music.
You know what I'm saying? So until that, we went to a pawn shop, bro. We got like a beat machine like this, you know what I'm saying? A little small beat machine.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my first ones. I don't even know what it was really, but I remember we went to a pawn shop right there in Pomona off town in Foothills called like Music, Styles Music. It's like a little store. So we bought like a little beat machine, and then I was just making beats right there, and then I started really getting into it, and I had all the freedom because I was smoking blunts,
it's no
you know what I'm
restriction.
saying, and everything, and he's a G too, so we was smoking, and I was making beats, whoop whoop, and then after that, I was going, you know what I'm saying, I was still fucking around a little bit, and then I met my baby mama. Shout out to my baby mama, she been with me for a long time. Then I had my son. I was 21, yeah,
Damn.
around 20.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then once that happened, my bro was like, look, now you gotta make money.
Yeah.
Right? So he
You got a whole
invested
nother life.
he invested $20,000 over the course of 2 years into a we rented a little office at a business park,
Mm-hmm.
and we made a whole studio in there, man. We made a whole studio in there, and he was putting up ads and wherever we could put up ads, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is, 10 years ago. And then that's how I started meeting like rappers from LA and rappers from like the IE.
That's crazy.
Because I was just
bro.
recording, I was engineering.
Yeah.
So you were sitting
know what
there
I'm
working,
saying?
making sure it was going on.
So you really like had to like. That's crazy. So let me ask you this: do you feel like him pushing you to get your shit together probably saved your life?
Yeah, really. I always say that.
Yeah.
And I always be appreciated to them, you know what I'm saying, for that, for real. Because I could have went a whole different way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, at what moment did you feel like, all right, this work isn't going unnoticed, and like people are paying attention to what I'm doing as a producer at this point?
It's funny because I was just like the engineer at the studio. So people didn't know I was making beats. We wasn't advertising like this and that, you know what I'm saying? It was like I was the engineer. So I would be selling studio time, and it wasn't until people would come in and be like, hey, man, you got beats? You guys got beats here? And I'd be like, oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We
And
got that too.
Yeah, and I would push play, and then that's how I met a lot of the LA scene. They would come down, you know what I'm saying, and, you know what I mean, for the studio time, and then I would play beats, and then they would be like, oh, shit, like that shit, you know what I'm saying? They would fuck with it hard, so I was like, damn, I got some. You know what I mean? I got something. It gave me more confidence.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I was slanging beats for like $25.
As you feel. Yeah.
No, for sure.
I didn't
Especially
know.
if
I didn't know
you
that.
making money off
No,
your
for real though, you know what I'm saying? So, that happened, and about 3 years after that, my brother was just like, look, man, he pushed me to make my first music video, which was called My Whole Life.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And then this is when he was like, you got to start rapping. Like, you need to rap. And like I would rap, I would just be like
play around with it.
Yeah, I would play around, but I had no confidence. Like I said, like zero confidence, bro. Like I didn't want the people to listen to it. You know what I mean? And then he's like, he got a homie named Bronson. It was his homie from, you know what I mean, a child homie of his. And he's like, he does videos, so we gonna link you up with him. And you guys gonna do a video together, and we gonna put it up on YouTube. And back then, I was like, what is this? What are we doing?
Right.
And we did it, bro. And then like, I think I got like maybe about 50,000 views on
that's
that.
Huge.
And I was just like, damn, that's crazy.
So I'm really out here, man.
Yeah. I think that to answer your question, I think that's probably when I felt like more motivation.
Like people are really looking at this, they're paying attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Going with the movement now. For you, in your brother's head, do you think that was more of like a strategic plan for marketing to further the business that you guys have, or did he really have confidence in you as a rapper at the time?
Yeah, I think he had confidence in me and like everything I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was dropping bread.
Yeah,
and I think more so, not just to see money back, it was to keep me away from that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Fucking up and shit like that. You know what I mean? And then, you know what I'm saying? Little by little, I got my first show. My first show was at the Airliner.
Oh, over there by the airport.
Yeah, the Airliner.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody done did shows there.
Real shit. That was my first show ever. I didn't even know I was supposed to be selling tickets. Homie gave me 20 tickets. I came back, gave him like 15 back. He's like, you supposed to sell these? I was just like, my bad.
Whatever.
But he let me rock though. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? So, you know, that's kind of like how it all really began. You know, then I started meeting different people. You know what I mean? So on and so on. And, you know.
Let me ask you this, because it's a big thing. Obviously, we from here. So, like, I'm always constantly find myself explaining L.A. to people that's not from L.A. Because everybody come here to be in the business, be in the industry and shit like that. Are you ever offended by the fact that people feel like Pomona is the IE?
I'm not really offended by it because I got homies from the IE. You know what I'm saying? I got real good partners from the IE and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? These are my homies. You know what I mean? But it's just funny how they confuse it, you know what I'm saying? But the only thing that's funny about it is that they get mad. So they be like, why you, you know what I'm saying, say you from, you know, 909, why you claiming LA County and shit like that, but you really living in the IE. It's just people that don't know.
They don't know.
They just don't know.
Because Pomona is technically LA County.
Yeah, it's the last city.
And it's the last city before you get to the IE. So I was trying to explain that to people that's not from here. And if you really don't know, you kind of like just automatically assume it's the same shit.
Exactly.
Once you go past like, you know.
So I don't really sweat it, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got left with IE. I got my homies from Ontario, man. You know what I'm saying? They hold me down out there and shit. So they ain't no bad vibes or anything. It's just some people just don't know, so they just be talking shit.
How'd you end up linking with King, Lil G?
He asked me for beats.
Oh, okay.
That was like, you know, like the first like dude with like, you know what I mean, some recognition. You know what I'm saying? Asked me for beats and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
And then go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and then you just started like rocking together, collaboration, or like.
Yeah, I mean, once he asked me for a beat, he asked me for another one, and then it just kept going. Yeah, boom, 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 and then you know what I'm saying, whatever happened, we ended up clicking up, and I ended up producing like, shit. I produced at least four or five tracks off of each album he dropped for the last 5 years.
Correct.
And shit.
And then I noticed too, because I think on the last 2 albums, on High Forever 2, right?
Yeah.
So High Forever 2, the only feature on here is High Tone.
Yeah.
That's big, bro.
That's my guy right there. I fuck with him.
How'd you end up linking with High Tone?
Damn, how did I end up linking with High Tone? We had met one time. It was at a dub show years back. I think it was when Schoolboy Q was performing back then. And then he was on the dub show back then. That's all I remember because I fuck with Schoolboy Q's music. And then we was there, and I seen High Tone, and I seen him moving before that. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen him moving and shit like that. And I think I reached out to him. You know what I mean? I think I was like, "What's up, man? Let's get something going." And it took a while to make it happen. And then once we did, and that's just the boy now, man. You know what I'm saying? But
people, man.
That album right there, because my first album that I dropped that everybody was really started fucking with me, it was High Forever 1.
Correct.
In 2015, when it really released. Because I released it on that piff. Like I had just, I was like, you know what I'm saying? There it is. You know what I mean? And then from there, I wanted High Forever 2. I dropped I dropped High Forever 1, then I went on to making Barget Ave and then Straight Out the Line. So I was like, okay, everybody's asking for High Forever too. So that's why you hear the smooth samples and all that shit on that one. I wanted to take it back.
Keep the same. Keep the consistency.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it can't compete with one if it was sounding like just all gangster shit and all
Turned
like
up.
West Coast shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't. I kind of found my groove with this West Coast shit, with the West Coast beats. I found what I wanted to do now. You know what I'm saying? Recently. You know what I mean? So with those, when I brought it back, I was just like, that one I hit it off. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, you know, my boy Ace Beats, he got on them beats and he produced almost the whole project. And then I was just feeling it, man, and I talk about some real shit on there, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, you know, going. And then I had that one song, and I was just like, man, High Tone, come fuck with me, man. Like, you know what I mean? I want to show you love. Let's go.
That's love.
You know what I mean?
I think it's important, like not just for like Latinos, but like every group, everybody that's a minority to come together, stick together, and stuff like that. So I appreciate, you know, y'all even doing that.
Yeah, man. I think the song came out really dope too, man. That's one of my favorite songs. That's my brother Smokey's favorite song on the whole album. He fucks with that song hard. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a good thing for him to be on there. But I wanted to tackle that whole album myself and kind of just be like, you know what I'm saying? You know, because even, you know what's crazy? Because even when he came to the studio and I told him, look, here's a pick. Like, I played him every single song.
Oh, you can jump on whatever you want.
I said, whatever you want, you pick it.
Damn.
Drawn to that one, huh?
And I remember he was sitting there and he was listening to the songs and he was just like, bro, he's like, all these songs are so deep and so personal. He's like, I don't know which one that would make sense for me to choose. Like, I think you should just take them all.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what about this one? This one's kind of a little bit more fun. You know what I'm saying? And I played that one. And he was just like, oh, bro, that was it. You know what I mean? But I think that's what went on with the High for Everything. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was going to ask you, because I noticed like this album and then the last two projects that you dropped for over the last year, it would the last one where that I think Lil G was on was like 3 projects ago. So I was going to ask, like, what's the relationship like now with?
We just went our own separate ways, man. You know what I'm saying? We went our own separate ways and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just started doing my thing and he's doing his thing. I want to reinvent my sound. You know what I'm saying? I want to just do my own shit. Like, I just felt like it's time for me to go out there and you know what I mean? Just kind of, you know what I mean? It's hard being two artists, you know what I'm saying, at the same time type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, on the same labels, I think it's real hard to navigate that shit, you know what I mean? Like, even right now with the little bit of status that I do have, you know what I'm saying, the small amount that I have, like, you know, I wouldn't take on an artist right now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And be like,
because you know everything that's involved with it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And be like, bro, I'm gonna put you on because I know that I'm not gonna be able to, you know what I'm saying, give that artist my full attention.
Exactly.
And, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to do that, you know what I'm saying? And I had to learn myself, like, you know what I'm saying, through all these years that I've been doing music and everything that I've been through, I kind of learned. So until I'm, you know what I'm saying, where I know where I need to be at, where it'll be super easy for me to co-sign somebody and then he just run in with it, you know what I mean? Like, I throw him the ball and then jump on a couple songs and a couple videos with him and be cool, then I think I'll start signing somebody to my label. But it's
I
just
appreciate
hard.
You being real with yourself, because most people have delusion and they be like, oh, I could take this person and that person, and then they just be sitting there and they be mad at you.
Real shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for real, man. You know what I'm saying?
And that's something that you even said in one of your songs too. You said something about being impatient and kind of understanding that, like, that's something that you know that's one of your shortcomings. So it's like not wanting to do that for somebody else. It takes a real man to be like, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna do that for somebody else. I know how that fucking feels. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Something I want to ask you too is how does young drummer boy navigate street politics when it comes to doing music? Because I know a lot of the homies be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They run with their homies still from the neighborhood. Like, how do you manage to do both?
My homies are with me all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My young homies are with me. Everybody you see in the videos and shit like that, those are my homies.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? From my neighborhood and from my homies' neighborhood, we close together like that. You know what I'm saying? So I keep a tight circle with them. There's a couple people from my neighborhood that I don't fuck with because they just they ain't shit to us, bro. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? It's street politics like that, you know what I'm saying? But my true homies, they could come with me everywhere.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? And I done enough in my career as a gang member where people ain't got to question me. You know what I'm saying? And if they do question me, then they gotta just see me. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. You know, not saying that I'm the hardest dude on the earth, but that's just how everybody is. You know what I'm saying? But I just keep my homies close to me. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? When I go somewhere, they could come, bro. You know what I'm saying? They come here, they come there and shit.
What about you rocking with people that's not necessarily from your section? They might be from another place. Because you do, like I noticed on this album, you did records with people from all over. Shout out to Rucci, shout out to Stupid Young. Like you went all over the, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I felt like, to me, this was like a real, like, I'm stepping out into my own. This is who I am. I'm standing on my own too. Like how you said about with Lil G. Like I need to stand on my own 2 feet and do my own thing. So what I'm saying is, if you still run with the homies that's from the neighborhood, are they okay with you then rocking with people from all over the place?
Yeah, it is, because like I said, the homies from my neighborhood personally, my older homies, they love me, they respect me, you know what I'm saying? And they know I ain't no punk, you know what I'm saying? So they're behind me. I have their support.
Got you.
Their undivided support, you know what I'm saying? You know, and so when it comes to making moves, I know what moves I can't make. And
okay, so you're aware of different things. That,
I know which ones I wouldn't.
That's too much.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know what I
like
wouldn't do.
Easy,
and it's not even because, like, the shit that I wouldn't do is not because the homie's gonna get mad. Nah, I'm from the streets. Like, I know that I can't fuck with you. You know, you can't fuck with me either. Either, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that type shit. You know what I mean? But, you know, the songs that we did with Young, like, for instance, like with Young, he came through, he had his homies. I came through, I had my homies, and it was a beautiful thing, man. We all linked up, we all had a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, oh yeah, you from there? Okay, well, I'm from here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nice to meet you, man. These are my people, this is family. That's your family, cool. Now let's drink and do this video.
Yeah, got you. That's what's up. No, like I appreciate that, just because LA always get a bad rap.
Yeah, it does.
We get a real bad rap.
Yeah, you don't hear stories like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear
nobody ever
talks about that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got my people, you got your people. All right, fuck it. We function together. Let's you know what I'm saying? I like that.
Yeah, it's all about respect, man. And you know what I'm saying? It's all about respect. The thing about my city, bro, my city is we have hella enemies. Like, if you just Google like how many gangs are in Pomona, you'll see like validated gangs. You'll see there's like one in every fucking corner, bro.
God damn.
You know what I'm saying? So our beef really don't stem out of Pomona. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all got too much shit going on internally.
If we want to go to war, we go to war. We going to war, right? You know what I mean? We just got to hit the liquor store.
It's not hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We hit the liquor store. You know what I'm saying? You just hit the one you know they be at. That's it. You know, so it really don't stem out of Pomona like that unless motherfuckers want it, then they got it, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we, you know what I mean? I was never growing up to raised to be no punk either, you know what I'm saying? So, but unfortunately, the way I am now, you know, and the way I'm talking to you is the way I talk to everybody, you know what I'm saying? There's really not no fakeness going on and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Respect.
Yeah, so.
What's more important to you, your respect in the streets or musically? At this point?
At this point in my career, I think my respect in the streets, it's hard for me to answer that because my respect in the streets already been earned, and I'm fighting to earn my respect in the music right now. So it's kind of a hard question to answer.
Got you.
You feel
I respect that.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to, you know what I mean? Even though we got numbers and we doing this shit and doing that shit. You
Still
know
something to prove.
Yeah, it's like I even told Gentry, I was just like, hey, look, if I got to prove myself every video, every album,
every
record, I'm there to prove myself, bro. And I'm not going to be deterred. A lot of people are on that whole shit where the industry's holding Latinos down.
Yes,
right?
they are.
Right? But see, I don't feel like it too. I don't feel like stabbing at that point. What I do feel like is this. My standpoint on that is that I think the music wasn't up to par. You know what I'm saying? To what the industry needs, or the industry, because the industry's is here to make money.
Right.
It's a fucking business, bro.
Music business.
You feel me?
Music business.
It's a fucking business. So if I don't have the product for you to make the business, I don't expect you to buy the product off of me.
Mm-hmm.
I think people don't get that.
I'm glad you said that.
I'm so glad you said that.
I just understand. That's how I take it. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to anybody that takes it.
Not at all.
Else.
I think what it is, though, I think there is a certain amount of artists that do go through that, but then there's another lane of, like, for example, we weren't on, like, we didn't start in terrestrial radio.
Hell
you know what
no.
I'm saying? We knew what we were up against to do this media shit and do this radio. We could have been, oh, why aren't they fucking with us? Certain radio stations. We could have kept going down that march. Instead, we was like, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it on our own.
Build our own
Hey,
shit.
come to my house. We're going to piece up our own equipment and make it homegrown. You know what I'm saying? So I love when artists take that approach versus having the victim mentality. And not to say that everybody does that, but when you have that mentality of, like, you know what? Fuck what they saying. I'm gonna do it on my own and make this work out. I feel like you'll have a certain peace of mind. No matter what, like, you'll still want to hit certain strides and certain things, but you're not gonna look at it from the victim mentality of, oh, they're holding me down.
They holding me back.
Because then you're gonna be thinking about that all the time.
Exactly. It's gonna always be a problem.
And my perspective of it as well is like Chicano rap, right?
Exactly.
Chicano rap is a genre because we was making music catering to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Not everybody else.
Yeah.
Yep.
Southsiders were making Southside music.
Yep.
What else you want? That's where the label came from, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
I like that you taking accountability for it. Not necessarily taking responsibility for everybody else's choices.
Yeah, you know.
But you definitely you are the creator of your own destiny.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You control that. And it's like if you getting a job, right? This is what I always tell people. Like, if somebody offer you a job, say I own a McDonald's, and I'm like, look, I'm gonna give you this job. You could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not forcing you to flip the burger, but if you want, I got this opportunity for you to come flip this burger. But then most people be like, oh, they want to keep me flipping burgers. They don't want to see me win. It's like,
you know what I mean?
My nigga, I asked you if you want to flip you goddamn burgers.
I just asked you want to do this? All right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
One of the homies told me that. He was like, yo, one of his OGs was like, yo, you can get in the car and come put in some work with us, or you can go home.
Yeah.
And then when he in the car, he like, bitch ass motherfucker gonna make me. He's like, he didn't make you do shit. You got in the car.
Exactly.
You got in the car to go put in the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
so
that's real.
I like that. I love that. Keep that, because that's gonna keep you pushing. Even when other people is like, oh, they do the woes is me, and they be victimizing themselves and shit like that.
Yeah. I've always thought of it that way, man. And I think the different swag that I have on the music is what kind of sets me apart a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I get hate, obviously, from different people because, you know, they say I sound a certain way on the track, and I don't sound like this. But this is how I grew up, man. I was listening to Sugar Free all my life. What the fuck you think I'm gonna be?
Coast.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question, because I asked one of the homies. Not gonna put him out there, but I asked one of the Latino homies.
Yeah,
he does music. I asked him, is being validated in the black community something that means something to you as a rapper?
Validated, like as in like
as a music in the music.
Yeah. Like as if they fuck with us type of.
Do you care if the black community fucks with you?
I feel how I feel like that is. I mean, it's hard to say that because now you got people like Jeezy in the clubs and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's hard to say. Okay, well, I need to have, you know what I mean, the black artists fuck with me in order for me to be in the clubs and be in that. But then you see Jeezy doing, you see this and do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to really say that. You know what I mean? It all goes back to that same shit. You know what I mean? But I feel personally that I want my music to reach all types of races.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So personally, you know, I want, you know what I'm saying, I want stupid young people to say, damn, that little Mexican's hard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want ages people to say, that motherfucking Mexican's hard. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to do, to be able to branch out my business. Mm-hmm. And my business is music. You know what I'm saying? And my business is my brand. So, you know, yeah, we could do good because there's so many motherfucking Mexicans. You know what I'm saying?
I grew up with nothing but Mexicans.
Right. You know what I mean?
My whole family from Linwood, Compton. So
you know what I mean? So yeah, we do okay. You know what I'm saying? I make a good living off the music already. I'm blessed to even be able to say that.
Amazing.
You know what I'm saying? But I know that if I expand my audience more, then I could then more revenue, more fans, more everything. You know what I'm saying? So I could be able to in hand take care of everything else I got to take care of over here. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever I make, my boys are making with me. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at it, it's like, how are we gonna expand it, go further? I'm not reaching these reggaeton fans. I'm not reaching them.
Yeah.
Right. How can we do that?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers gave me 75 million views in fucking 2 months. How we do that shit?
Make it happen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just not looking at it as race. I'm looking at it like, man, this is a real business that could provide for my family and provide for my homies, and everybody could eat off this shit. So why not? Like,
I love what you said on Instagram recently. You had a post up, and it was you at a show, and I'll just break down the last part of it. He's like, how many times we got to prove our worth? We here and we ain't leaving. Shout out to all my people trying to make a difference, grind for us. Like, and you go on to say earlier that, you know, you build your own brand from the ground up, from a living room in a motel for weeks. You know what I'm saying? You have an amazing fan base. You got multi-million views and streams, sold out shows across the states. Like, how does that feel now to be able to say that? And like, I just saw the way you said it when you just realized, like, yo, I'm making a living off of this. Like, that was something I'm sure was a dream at one point, and now you're living in your dream. So, for one, how does it feel to live in that? And then, what's the next thing for you? Like, when you say expand your enterprise, what are the things that you got your sights on now? The next step for Young Drummer Boy.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Where I'm at in my career right now, I'm able to provide for my family. I'm able to provide for my homies. I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, put a roof over my head, a couple nice cars, a couple nice things here and there and shit, right? But I deal with anxiety and I deal with pressure every single day. So it's not, I haven't soaked it in yet.
Got you.
Even by that me saying that, that's still not, I could say that because it's true, but I haven't just soaked it in, you know what I'm saying? And for instance, and I, you know what I mean, I've said this before, a high tone hit me up one day just out of nowhere, and he said, bro, you should be proud of yourself. Every video you dropping is hitting millions, and you know what I'm saying, everything you're doing right now is hitting the mark. And I said, bro, I'm so stressed out every day that it's hard for me to even sit back and soak it in and kind of just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm never like that right now. So it's hard, you know what I mean? Because I'm always just like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing I got to do to expand? When you know what I mean? To expand my enterprise is the same thing. How do we get the music further? You know what I'm saying? You know, how do we get ourselves like that? How do we get ourselves to going from 2-3 million views in a couple months to 75 million views in a couple months? That's where I want to be at. You know what I'm saying? That's when I feel like, okay, we doing something.
You said right. you suffer from anxiety. Is that on a daily basis? Or?
Hell yeah, bro. I'm yeah.
What are you doing to deal with your anxiety? Are you doing any kind of?
Sometimes I gotta sit back, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? The doctor gave me some shit when I be having anxiety attacks and shit like that. You know what I mean? But it's all because, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's a constant battle. Like, it's you know what I mean? It's always working. It's just always working. And it's funny because my baby mama be like, you know, let me break it down the easiest way that I could try to make everybody understand is like, rent's coming up, right? I still live life check to check.
Facts.
Right? So she tells me, what the fuck you stressed out for? You got fucking money in the safe. You good. Yeah. Oh, and I look at her and I be like, we can't touch that money in the safe. We can't touch it. That's there. You know what I'm saying? That's there. So I know I got a nice cushion right there. You know what I'm saying? Because it took me a long time to learn how to save money. You know what I'm saying? But once I started learning how to save money and prioritize what goes
Stay out of the strip club.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know, but it's like that. Like, I'm almost giving myself anxiety by you know, having this mentality. You know, like, okay, well, I gotta book a show this month. or else I'm not gonna make rent. That ain't true.
All right. You have it there.
I could dip in.
So you
for
said
sure
you
I'm gonna
place it on
make it.
yourself a little bit more than got you.
So that's where I think it's at. You know what I'm saying?
Something else I want to ask you about. Your parents are immigrants.
Yeah.
Have you been affected at all, or anybody in your family, by the recent shit with Trump and the DACA shit and like?
Well, let me correct you. They got their papers now when they came over here, so they're not legal immigrants now. But none of my family was affected about that. But I do have a strong feeling about that too, because you know what I'm saying, when they came over here trying to start a life, man, you know what I'm saying, for everybody, like everybody else is. You know what I'm saying? They try to start a life. Like my dad, he came over here, and this is crazy that people, you know what I'm saying, not a lot of people know about it, but I've been talking about it more. Like my dad came over here and he was in a Mexican rock band, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I really didn't know this because I wasn't too close to my dad. Like I knew the logistics of it, like you know what I'm saying, like the basics. Okay, he wanted to be a rock star, he came.
But you didn't know like he was.
But I didn't know that this motherfucker was over here when he first came down here, doing what I was doing, opening up for people,
doing music.
Yeah, like really hitting clubs.
That's
like
dope.
You know what I'm saying? He was the opening act here.
He didn't do a show at the
He
airliner.
didn't do a show at the airliner. You know what I'm saying? But he was living that same struggle that I didn't know about it. You know what I'm saying? In depth. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, now he's been working for the last you know what I mean, 40-something years at his job. You know what I'm saying?
Have you talked to him about that? Like his lifestyle doing that? Are you guys, is he still here with us?
Yeah, he's still here.
And have you had those conversations about like what he did and why he chose to give it up?
More and more, yeah. He chose to give it up because he met my mom.
Wow.
And my mom was a devoted Christian.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? So he became a pastor, and then he brought his music to the church.
Word.
That's crazy.
So he did that.
So he flipped
He
it.
loved the fuck out of your man.
Yeah, he did that.
Because I'm not stopping nothing.
No,
I'm
but
doing
he still.
right now. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
wait, time out, wait. He still did music. He just did it with the church.
Yeah, he wrote songs. He got catalogs of songs. Wow. That's one thing I'm doing for my dad right now, is I'm getting him in the studio to record all the songs he wrote.
Are you? That's dope.
You know what I'm
dude.
saying?
That's dope.
You should go back in and like sample some of that shit. Like,
I mean, shit, I probably owe him some royalties.
right.
Yeah.
It's in the family. So, but that was gonna be my
but
next.
You ain't gotta
question.
pay him though. You know what I'm saying?
He so obviously he was okay with the pursuit of the music for you. Did he have any woes like, hey son, like you might want to not do this because I've kind of been in the industry, so to speak. Did he give you any heads up?
I think he wasn't familiar with the whole rap
Got you.
type of shit.
Did
you know
he embrace it though?
At first, it's like anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you first start something, you know what I mean? Well, it was kind of like, okay, you got to get a job type shit. Like, you got to get a real job, man. Like, you got to do this, you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think he had to actually see it because he's a, you know what I'm saying? He's all about work. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's the thing about, you know what I'm saying, any type of immigrants that come over here, they're all about grinding and working. So if you ain't making money, you ain't doing nothing.
You don't make nothing at all.
You know what I'm saying? To them. You ain't doing shit. You ain't making money. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was his mentality for a little bit. But right now, I could say that my dad is like one of my biggest fans.
That's what's up.
My dad and my mom, bro. That's dope. They got Alexa playing my music all day long. That's not even no cap, bro. That's like real shit. And you know what's crazy? That I was staying with my homie Victor for like a week because we were hitting all kinds of interviews and shit. So I was staying at his pad, and then my dad had called me, and he was just like, and he ain't really familiar with the whole YouTube shit, but he be watching it. Yeah. So he told me in Spanish, he was like, what does it mean when it has a 1 and an M next to it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Got
you know
that
what I mean?
million.
So he didn't know, and he's like, what does it mean when it says, 100, and what's the K mean?
Yeah.
What's the M mean?
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was just like, that means a million. And he was just like,
oh, you out here.
Yeah, like you could see, you could feel, I felt like that was a proud moment for me, and it just happened. You know what I'm saying? Where I really felt good about that because without even having to see his face or hear his reaction, I could feel how emotional and like, proud and happy he was.
That's what's up, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's big, bro.
You know what I mean?
That's a big thing to be able to do that.
You know?
one more thing about that. I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on? Because I saw that. I want to say it was in Pomona, but I saw that it was last week or something. There was a checkpoint where they were like stopping Mexicans.
Yeah.
And then I heard at LAX they're doing that too. It's like they'll stop strictly Mexicans.
Yeah, ICE
is stopping Mexicans. I feel like that's like completely targeting like a certain group of people. Like, what are your thoughts? Because I'm offended, and I grew up with all Mexicans, so I'm offended. And I'm really upset about that shit. You Mexican, so what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, my thoughts is just like, damn, man, like it's crazy because. Like, I don't really try to voice it too much on the internet, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see people voicing it, which is really dope, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, these people are just out here just trying to, you know what I'm saying, grind, man. Like, you see the videos where the police officers are snatching the roses from the little old ladies and taking it down in the chokehold and stuff like that. I think that no matter what, racism is always going to exist in a small way, man. Like, it just always is going to exist and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's just no matter what they say, no matter how they want to label it, I think it's just racism at its finest, man.
West
you know
Coast.
What I'm saying?
I think because obviously, like, I have a lot of friends that are white people, right?
Yeah.
And they're constantly sticking up on some Black Lives Matter shit. And me being from LA, I feel like it's our duty to stick up for the Mexican homies too. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like a big deal to me.
Yeah, for real. I think that's the only way we really gonna, you know what I'm saying, do the right shit. I mean, you know, the whole unity thing, it's been talked about a lot, you know what I'm saying? And you know, throughout the years, everybody, you know what I mean, the whole black and brown unity, the whole, you know, it's always been talked about, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to say that I'm gonna save it or make it happen and shit, but I'm just doing my part, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You can do.
You know what I mean? Stupid Young's the Asian Crip. You know what I'm saying? From Long Beach. Shout out to him and his homies. You know what I mean? Ruchi's blood from Inglewood. Shout out to Ruchi. Shout out to his homies. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm a Southsider from Pomona. I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm showing y'all that I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Do your part.
You know what I'm saying?
It's one brick at a time,
You know what I
man.
mean?
You gotta respect that. One thing we always ask, and I definitely want to hear your opinion on this, is what's one thing you got to do? The year can't end without Young Drummer Boy doing what?
Are we trying to be inspirational? Or
whatever. I mean, it's whatever you want to be.
Whatever you want to manifest.
Whatever you want to do. It can be on some
manifest it,
whatever it is. Because we've done this plenty of times. Let me give you an example, right?
Yeah.
Double that safe money.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's
fact. That's don't happen. One of the last people we did this with was Mozzie. Mozzie was like, we interviewed him in 2017, I think, and he was like 16. He was like, yeah, man, I want to touch an M, I wanna make $1 million, like 40 years up, and we was like halfway through the year, and he posted in January of 2017 or 18, whatever the following year was, that he got that $1 million. He made that $1 million within a year. So we've constantly done this with artists left and right, just people in general, just as far as speaking your dreams into existence. So for you,
I got it. I know what it is because I talked to my homie Victor about it.
Yeah.
I want this year to end with I want to buy my first house, man.
There you go.
That's what I want to do. We talked about that, right?
Yeah.
So I got that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm going to do for sure.
Gonna do that, bro.
Yeah,
knock
you know
that out. Hell yeah.
That's for sure. I wanna own it. I don't wanna rent it. I wanna own that shit.
Last thing. You work with Cypress, obviously. Cypress. How are like is there any politics involved with like the Salvadorian shit? Like I know the Mexican shit. It's not really like not really between you and him.
No, yeah.
I'm just saying in general. I know that was a thing.
There's always gonna be haters, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, hey.
Outside.
Yeah, on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Not even hating on me and Cypress doing work together because I ain't heard none of that at all.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? About me and him working or anything like that. But it's like anything, bro. Like, there'll be some Salvadorians that be like, oh, we don't fuck with Mexicans.
Yeah.
Okay. There'll be some Mexicans that say we don't fuck with Salvadorians. Or they don't fuck with them and we don't fuck with them. It's the same shit, bro. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they say. It matters how I feel about it.
Exactly.
Now, if I would have came up to Cypress and he said, I don't fuck with Mexicans, I would be like, hey, man, we got a problem. You know what I mean? But he's a good people, man.
Cypress is great.
Yeah, he's real good, man.
I fuck with him.
We're about to start working. I was supposed to touch down with him yesterday, but we're going to work on this next one because Shout out to Phoenix, man. We're gonna do this new song with Phoenix, man. We're gonna put that out soon, and I want Cypress to have his you know what I mean, his hands in that.
Now, when it comes to the music thing, there's two things I just want to ask. One thing, is there anything that's off limits when it comes to music for you? Like, I'm not touching that. I'm gonna leave that alone, because you kind of mentioned as far as you don't really speak on politics, or that's not something you voice. Is that something you would or would not want to put in the music, or is it like, nah? You know, how do you feel about that? Is there anything that's off limits when it comes to the music for you?
Off limits, just corny shit, bro. Just something I feel what's off limits to me is like anything that I would do for a reason, like a certain reason. You got to do this in order to do it, in order to get that. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, when I signed to Empire, like I told Furious and I told Gentry, I was just like, bro, look, I'm not gonna chase these radio records, but if they come, they come. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I mean. Like, I'm not, I like any corniness, anything that I have to do in order to be accepted or to, you know what I'm saying? That's where I feel like, man, it's just hard for me to do that, because the reason why I don't want to chase radio records is because I don't want to fuck my brain up trying to chase a radio record for the next year and not get a radio record that next year. I'd rather just come.
Or get one, and then that's all you have to do. You have to continue to follow up with that.
Yeah,
just keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Drop your shit, man. And the people, let the people decide.
Yeah, for real.
That's the best way to do it.
For real,
Other question I had as far as the music, how hands-on are you with things that are outside of music? Like when it comes to the videos, are you like, I'm director too? Like, hands-on with everything, a part of the process with the music when it comes to the videos? Obviously, you produce as well, so you let other people do the beats, but are you still like, hey, no, I want it to sound like this? How hands-on are you when it comes to everything around the music? As far as the beats and stuff like that, like on every record, I touch something. You know what I'm saying? But I let, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, okay, co-produced by drummer. Got you.
Because we're just creating, bro. And they're very good at what they do. Like, the circle that I have as far as like creating the music is Ace Beats, produced by 100, me. You know what I'm saying? That's my circle. So they know what it is. They know what I want. And they know how to deal with me. So they say, you know what I'm saying?
That's more important than everything. Right?
You know
they can put up with my bullshit.
Yeah.
When I be tripping, they don't be tripping.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they'll send me, like Ace will send me beats, and then we'll sit there, beats. And I just won't hear one. I'll be like, hey man, try this, try that. And then some people might get, you know what I'm saying, annoyed by that shit. But they just, you know what I'm saying, they with the process. And then, okay, say if 100's making a beat, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, I like that. And this is how I'm involved in it creatively. I'll be like, boom, I'll just start writing already before the beat's made. And I'll be like, hey, look, let me just do this, or just switch the beat this way, or make that drum line go like this. And then boom, okay, cool. Load it up on Pro Tools.
And that's it.
And let's go.
Yeah.
And the videos stress me the fuck out.
You have a lot of anxiety, drummer. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I was just keeping it all the way real.
Straight up.
Voice Too Hard is my man who I've been fucking with for a minute now. Voice Too Hard. He shot a lot of records. He shot some for Shoreline. He has a good resume. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Resume. If you go check his page, that he works like a motherfucker. So I want to shout out Voice Too Hard for sure. Because he got my back and he puts up with my shit too. You know what I'm saying? But you know, as far as like, let's say, okay, I'll tell him, look, I want this video. I'm going to rent this mansion, bro. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this fucking core and I'm going to do that. And then you just going to come in and do your shit and make it look right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then
just shoot. Come and shoot.
So I wouldn't say I'm directing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I just kind of visualize something and then he just brings it to life type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Close.
Now, how do you handle the criticism? Because we were talking about this before we hopped on air, and you said you don't have any yes men around you.
Can somebody tell you some shit is whack?
Exactly.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
And how do you handle that when they tell you?
We fight. Nah.
Slack up a little bit. Just a little bit.
I put this motherfucker in that.
I'll punch him in the motherfucking throat. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you know what? they're not so harsh where they're like it's whack. They'll just be like, oh, that's cool. You can tell body language. You can tell, man. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. But I'm so critical of myself. So everything I'm already thinking like, all right, let's just move this. Let's just move on. Gotcha. At the last minute, I called Gentry. I was like, hey, bro, the shit was already uploaded for same click.
Take it down.
I said, hey, we gonna switch out number. I don't even know what number it was. We gonna switch out number 9. Can we do that? And he just like, fuck, drum. And I was like, please.
Take
you know
9
what I'm
down.
saying? So boom, you know what I mean? And some of my homies was like, that one was better, and the other half was like, that one was better. You know what I'm saying? So I was just kind of like,
can somebody say, hey, drum, that shit's whack?
Yeah.
And you cool?
Yeah, I think if you like I don't know you like that, just off of pressure itself, I might be like, what the fuck are you, homie? To tell me that shit's whack. You know what I'm saying? You whack. Yeah. But if my homies,
whack, my whack, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Abuelita, everybody.
But if my homies say it's whack, then I'll be like, all right, man.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I might get a little irritated, but I'm going to change that shit.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's
dope, bro.
Same click out right now, man.
Hey.
Definitely advise you guys to check that out, man. Loving what you're doing. Keep on progressing. Keep on making your shit happen, man. Pleasure to talk to you. Young drummer boy, man. Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head, Homegrown Radio. We out.
Hey.
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 We out.
Hey.